Hey guys, welcome to the Dex, covering trivia and battle strategy for one Pokemon a week. I'm Icy Guy Alex.
And I'm PokeKellz, and it's cold. It's super cold, and I hate being cold.
Hey, did somebody turn the AC up to double frosty? I know it's like summer and all, but like I feel like I'm walking on a glacier here.
I don't know if I can do it like this.
Okay. Thank you. I understand. We are on an iceberg.
What?
Yeah, it was better for the budget to shoot an iceberg this week, so they flew us to Antarctica, and we're here on Antarctica filming the Dex.
Oh. Wait, I don't remember.
It's Avalugg!
Avalugg, huh? The only pure ice type native to Kalos? Well, alright then. Cold ignored. Avalugg is a hulking block of ice Pokemon who takes the crown for heaviest and most defensive of all ice types.
He's over 6.5 feet tall and weighs 1,113.3 pounds, which is about as heavy as a bison. Bison. It's a big dude. And bison?
His species name is the Iceberg Pokemon, and for good reason. He looks just like a tabular iceberg.
Tabular icebergs form when ocean freezes around a landmass and then breaks off to float freely. They're completely flat on top, and many animals use them to hitch a ride on when they're tired of swimming.
Icebergs are pretty famous for being much larger than they seem from above water. That's where the phrase "just the tip of the iceberg" comes from. There's always a much larger mass just beneath the surface, so they can be extremely dangerous.
Yep. That's because the density of salt water is 1.03 grams per milliliter, while the density of ice is 0.92 grams per milliliter. That means that only about 10% of the object is visible above the surface and 90% waits below. That's crazy. That's a lot.
It is crazy, but Avalugg is more than just an iceberg, you know?
Yeah, I know. I was the one who said he was a tortoise.
Did you say that?
I definitely did. Remember? Because his defense is so high and tortoises have shells and his stumpy legs, all that. Whoa! It's time for a new and ridiculous segment, folks! Travel back in time with us for a bit more about Avalugg's inspiration. It's time for Fake Monster, Real History.
Pokemon are real, though.
Yeah, right.
Avalugg's Pokedex entries claim that his body is as hard as steel and that when Berg might huddle together on its back, it resembles an aircraft carrier. This flavor text actually gives us a lot of insight into his design.
Back in World War II, the British had a secret plan they called Project Avalugg. The project was to create an enormous man-made iceberg to serve as an aircraft carrier. The thinking was that if the bird got torpedoed, the damage would be easier to repair than a ship's hull.
The material of choice was the newly invented pykrete, which is a mixture of ice and wood pulp that was easily sculptable. Another plus was that as it melted, the wood pulp would form a sort of shell to keep the ice underneath from melting, and the shell was far stronger than normal ice.
Unfortunately, the project was a victim to its own design. Even with the self-insulating pykrete, it couldn't be predicted how much the berg would melt and sag.
The proposed solution for this was steel reinforcements and an additional mechanical insulation system, but at that point, steel was so expensive that it was just cheaper to make a conventional aircraft carrier.
It was a pretty neat idea, though, all things considered, and Project Avalugg lives on in our dear buddy Avalugg. And is it just me, or does Avalugg and Avalugg kind of roll off the tongue in a similar way? Avalugg, Avalugg. I bet if mouthed, you wouldn't even know which one I was saying.
Tight. I was always bad at history in school, but now that I'm older, I think it is so cool.
Cool enough to freeze your enemy in some tracks with the battle strats?
Heck yes!
Hey, how long ago were you in school anyway?
I don't remember.
Alright. Pokemon! Let's be clear. Avalugg may have the best defense stat of all ice types, but send a special attacker out against him and he's toast. You can still play him right if you predict and play smart though, kind of.
I recommend a careful one to give that bad special defense a boost and tank him up with EVs and HP and more special defense. Believe me, his defense is high enough and you have to be able to survive a special attack.
Avalugg is slow anyway, so your main stab will be Avalanche. It has -4 priority, but it will hit with double the power if your opponent hits you first. Use Recover and hold leftovers to make up for the lost health, and make sure it's sturdy in case you're caught with a super effective move.
Earthquake will handle some of Avalugg's biggest weaknesses, and Rapid Spin clears away entry hazards, useful for Stealth Rock, which damages him double.
Do your best to predict a hit you can survive, turn it around with Avalanche, and then go back on the defensive to heal up. Don't rush it, or Avalugg will get taken out before he has a chance to really dish out some damage.
Of course, that's not the only way to train an Avalugg, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
If you find yourself overwhelmed, use Roar to phase out threats to Avalugg and buy yourself time to heal up.
Keep in mind that Avalugg doesn't have anything in his move pool that hits fighting types super effectively. Luckily, many fighting type moves will be dampened by his defense, but there's still a major threat to consider.
Finally, consider crunch for some extra type coverage. It has a chance to lower the opponent's defense too, which is tight.
And that's it! World War II conceptual aircraft carrier Avalugg. If you have anything to add or want to suggest a Pokemon for next time, comment below or follow our new official Twitter at TheNationalDex with #DexRequests.
Giant ice types are great, so click here for Mamoswine or here for Lapras. And if you like the show and want to show more support, head over to patreon.com/ThatOneVideoGamer for some excellent donation incentives.
Get your name in our credits and much more. Thanks for watching, I'm PokeKellz.
And I'm Icy Guy Alex. Tune in next week for another kickin' episode of
The Dex!
And 90% weights below. That's crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot more bird. It couldn't be predicted how much the berg would melt and sag.
Of course, that's not the only way to train in Avalugg.
And if you like the show and you want to show more support, head to patreon.com/ThatOneVideoGamer for some great donation incentives. God damn it.